It's the book club for kids.
It's the book club for kids.
It's the book club for kids.
It's the book club for kids podcast.
Hi, I'm Kitty Felde. This week we have just one thing to say to you. May the 4th be with you. We celebrate all things Star Wars with a series of books that begins with The Strange Case of Origami Yoda. It's a tale of middle grade angst where a Yoda finger puppet seems to have all the answers.
Origami Yoda, why doesn't Sarah like me? Does not says who likes you, she does, said Yoda.
That's our celebrity reader, Cartoonist Lalo Alcaraz. Writer Tom Angleberger joins us as well to talk about the power of a finger puppet.
And when I put it on my finger, that's sort of the moment that changed my whole life.
He's not the only one who believes in the magical powers of Yoda.
When I put it on my finger, it felt awesome because I mostly paid more attention. I would focus more on my homework.
This is the Book Club for Kids, the show where kids talk about books. We'll tell you how you can be on the show a little later on, but first, let's meet our readers.
My name is Francisco. I live in D.C. and I'm in 5th grade.
Hi, my name is Kevin.
My name is Jefferson.
Hi, my name is Caden. I'm in 5th grade and I go to Thompson Elementary School.
My name is Nicholas. I go to Two Rivers. I'm in 5th grade.
So tell me about this book club you guys started.
We started it because we really liked the books of Origami Yoda.
This idea was Caden's, and he inspired me to read the book, and after I read it, I really loved it, and so then I asked him if I could be part of the club, and he said yes.
Well, what does the club do?
This club is about trying to convince Tom Angleberger,
the writer, yeah?
Yeah, to make more books.
So what have you guys done to try to convince the writer to write some more books?
Last year we made like a commercial to send to him so that he would be inspired to make new ones.
Why do you like them so much?
I like them so much because they're funny, they're hilarious. Sometimes it shows some funny and awesome things.
They have a lot of cool examples of food, like in the new one. They had cool examples, like Darth Marshmallow, which is really funny.
Well, let's start at the very beginning. Who wants to tell me what at least the very first one or the whole premise of the books are about?
The first one was The Strange Case of Origami Yoda.
Origami Yoda is, as the name is, Yoda from the Star Wars, and they've actually made origami of him.
In the movie, he helps his students train them to fight Darth Vader.
So Origami Yoda has kind of special powers. What is he doing for all these kids at this middle school?
So basically, he's giving them advice, and his person that controls him, Dua, and he's like the crazy one. But when he has Origami Yoda, he gives good advice.
Well, does he really have that power?
No, it's just like a mindset of his power, because he feels like when he has Origami Yoda, he becomes smarter, and he actually does become smarter.
When he doesn't have Yoda as his alter ego, what kind of a kid is he?
He's kind of like a crazy kid, and mostly he doesn't pay attention, behaves bad. But when he does have Yoda, he has more advice, he pays more attention, he focuses more.
So let's hear a bit from the book to see Origami Yoda in action. Here's our celebrity reader, Lalo Alcaraz.
So one day I was feeling pretty pathetic about how Sarah had been talking to this guy Tater Tot so much and not talking to me at all. I was sitting at lunch worrying that Tater Tot was working his tater totty magic on Sarah. Then I realized that it was just me and Dwight at the lunch table since everybody else had finished. Whenever we have a lunch that has gravy-like turkey or Salisbury steak, Dwight takes about 5 extra rolls and smears them around in the gravy. It's gross, and he's always the last one done because the rest of us can't wait to get out of there. Hey, Dwight, if I ask Origami Yoda a question, will you promise not to tell anybody? Purple. What? Purple. Does that mean yes? Purple. Okay, could you just nod yes or no? He nodded yes and got out Origami Yoda. I whispered, Origami Yoda, why doesn't Sarah like me? Does not says who likes you, she does, said Yoda, or Dwight with his bad Yoda voice, whichever. Wait a minute, I said. What does that mean? Purple, said Dwight. I tried to rearrange the words. She says, who does not like you? She does not like you. Who says? Who says she does not like you? Is that what Yoda meant? Was he suggesting that I had the wrong idea? Does he mean Sarah does like me? Purple. I'm serious, man. Is that what it means? Purple. Man, you are a pain in my butt. Let me ask Yoda another question. No, said Dwight, finishing his last roll and getting up to dump his tray. Hold on, why not? Because you said I was a pain in your butt, maybe? Why should I let Origami Yoda help you if you're going to be mean? I'm sick of you guys always being mean to me, except when you need to talk to Origami Yoda. I'm sorry, man, I said, but if you wouldn't say stuff like purple over and over and over again, maybe we would be nicer. I thought it was funny. Ask Origami Yoda if it's funny. He asked. Funny it is not, said Yoda. See, I said, if you'd listen to Origami Yoda more, you would know how weird some of that stuff is. If you would just do what he says, you wouldn't seem so weird all the time. Dwight didn't say anything. By this time, we had dumped our trays and were headed to the lockers. The 1-minute warning bell rang. So, can I ask Origami Yoda another question, I asked? Brown, Dwight said and walked off. I ran after him yelling, Does she like me, Yoda?
Lalo Alcaraz is the nationally syndicated cartoonist behind La Cucaracha, and he's also a writer and producer of the new Fox animated series Border Town.
So have you guys tried this? Have you tried tapping the wisdom of an Origami Yoda?
So one time, Francisco and Jefferson, they were making the actual origami figures that I showed in the book.
And when you had them on your finger, did you get smarter?
Well, kind of, because it's like when we did it, we felt like we were that character.
Really? So it does transform you. Who else did you did it? Tell me what it was like.
I felt like I had the confidence to say, to be like the character, and like actually feel a little smarter.
When I put it on my finger, it felt awesome because I mostly paid more attention, and when somebody would get my Origami Yoda, I would focus more on my homework.
Who's your favorite character in the book?
My favorite character is Tommy because he's like, I like Obi-Wan the most, and Tommy like gets in trouble a lot.
Do you get in trouble a lot?
No.
I do.
Well, who's your favorite character?
Tommy.
Because he gets in trouble a lot, right?
Yeah, a lot of times.
I like the funny ones because they make me laugh, and when I read it, I won't feel bored about it, and I'll keep reading and reading.
My favorite character is actually maybe the evil ones. I like the bad guys because they take the story more serious. I like bad guys because they don't always get the credit that they should get.
Tell me, why is this book different than other books you guys read?
Because, like, this is a different book because this happens, like, in a middle school, and it feels like this could really happen if these people, like, existed. Well, yeah.
If they went to your school.
Yeah.
Not only the book is good, but they actually give you the steps to making the origami, and it's actually sometimes fun to play with them.
Does this book remind you of any other books you've ever read? Is it similar to anything else?
It's special. No, I think it's special because no other books are actually made like that. No puppets actually give you powers.
You do believe that when you have that puppet on your hand, it does change you.
Yeah, because it makes me think like I'm actually the character and actually just want to be like him. Like, give more advice and stuff. Like, try to become a little smarter. I feel a little smarter. And it's actually surprising. It actually takes place in middle school because puppets at that time they were made fun of and stuff. And in this book, they actually like it instead of, those bullies. They always make fun of them and stuff.
Are you saying it's just not really cool usually to have puppets or talk about puppets in middle school?
Yeah.
Let's talk to the man who made puppets cool for middle schoolers. Writer Tom Angleberger began his career as a journalist. He says a particularly stinky story helped him find his true audience.
I covered local government for a long time, and the story was about the local sewage treatment plant. And when I came back to the office, I wrote the lead for the story, and it was one of the best things I've ever written. And the editor said, "You've got to be kidding. We won't possibly publish this."
Why not?
Well, because it was about poop. There was a lot of information and imagery about the poop. And so I rewrote the story in a boring fashion so that adults could handle it. And then I decided to take what I'd written and put it in front of its proper audience of kids.
All right, well, let's talk a little bit about Origami Yoda. Which came first, the book or the YouTube videos?
Origami Yoda himself came first. I saw instructions for making him on the internet, and of course not for making my Origami Yoda. I saw instructions for making a really good Origami Yoda on the internet, and I looked at the instructions and my eyes glazed over because I'm just not that good at origami. So I decided to try to make my own version because I really wanted one, right? Because I love origami and I love Star Wars and I love Yoda, so I really wanted one. And I realized it would be easier to figure out how to make my own than to try to copy this masterpiece. So mine was very simple, and I had to draw a face on it, but it was a finger puppet. And when I put it on my finger, that's sort of the moment that changed my whole life.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me that your Origami Yoda spoke to you the same way it does in the book?
Not exactly, but definitely the book just poured out. It came to me once Origami Yoda was on my finger.
Well, it's kind of hard to type when you've got an Origami Yoda on your finger.
He's okay with just standing near the keyboard.
How did you get from making the puppet to writing the book?
Well, actually, it all started, it was going to be one short story, and it was going to be the chapter, the short story was going to be this, what's now the chapter of Mike trying to play baseball. And because I felt like that was information, that was Jedi wisdom that I could have used when I was in school. Because I was basically like Mike. Every game of baseball ended with either a temper tantrum or tears. And I just needed Origami Yoda's wisdom to get me through it. I needed Jedi wisdom to explain to me the way the galaxy worked, and that I needed to let go of my anger at the other players and just try to hit the ball. I really needed somebody to tell me that, and nobody told me that. And so I decided to rewrite history, go back in time, give myself the information I needed. Very soon I realized, oh my gosh, there's so many more chapters to come. So much more information that Origami Yoda could have given me when I was a kid.
So, I've got this group of young men from Thompson Elementary in Washington, D.C.
Can you please do another Origami Yoda book?
Honestly, I don't think I'm going to be writing another Origami Yoda novel, but I am hopeful of doing another how-to book featuring characters from the new movie and stuff like that.
What is your favorite Star Wars movie?
Probably Empire Strikes Back. And a big part of that is because, that's the most Yoda. That's when we meet Yoda for the first time, and that was always one of my favorite scenes from the entire series.
Well, so tell us about the newest book.
Well, the great thing about this was it was completely out of the blue. I was sitting around on my porch one day, and I got a phone call from Lucasfilm, and they said, do you want to write a novel version of Return of the Jedi?
Oh, my gosh.
And so, of course I said yes, and it was a great time. I had so much fun. Even as many times as I'd seen the movie, as much as I knew about it, I soon found out there was so much more to it. I got down into all the nitty-gritty details. I got to have fun with the Ewoks. Oh, I just had a ball. It was a great time. And so that's the new book that's called, and it's the very long title. It's called Star Wars, Return of the Jedi, Beware the Power of the Dark Side, ! So with that much punctuation, you know it's good.
Is this your favorite book, or do you have other favorite books?
This is my favorite book, and someone like me, actually, I'm more of a sport guy. Until I read this book, I started reading more and more of them. And I've been trying to read other books because of that book, which inspired me to read more books.
What's your other favorite book?
My other favorite books would be Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I like them because they're kind of like Origami Yoda. They take place in middle school and they have a lot of jokes and funny interactions. I like funny books because mostly in class is kind of boring all the time, so I like to have a little bit of fun.
But you're not the kind of guy I don't think that would make everybody else in the classroom laugh at stuff.
Not really. I'm more the serious person because I want to get things done.
One of my favorite books are books like if they like have nature stuff like birds or animals or reptiles. There was this book called Birds, and it told all about birds. And I mostly have a pet bird, a pet parrot, and it's a lot of fun.
Does he talk?
Sometimes they just say hello. I gotta train it to say Jefferson.
Why do you like nature books?
Mostly because I want to be a person that goes around the world and wants to help the animals survive so then they can have a better life, and then they're going to make new species, and then new species are going to be found later.
My favorite books are Diary of the Wimpy Kid, Geronimo Stilton, especially Geronimo Stilton. They have a lot of action, and like if there's action, the word changes, like bold and curvy. If Geronimo Stilton is like throwing up, it will have a disgusting word, like in the throw up section. It was like green with flies and all that.
Pretty gross. Do you like gross stuff?
No, but it's like amazing that the author will put those things in it.
My favorite book is I mostly like sport books. Lionel Messi, his first name. That was the name of the book, and the other one was Ronaldinho.
Of course, we like to ask everybody about their favorite book. What about you, Tom Angleberger?
Daniel Pinkwater was so big. It was such a big part of me being a kid and reading his books. Lizard Music is a great one to start. I love that book very much. It's just an amazing ride. I recommend it to everybody. I don't know how many people actually end up reading it because the title is kind of weird. It's such a good book.
And celebrity reader Lalo Alcaraz, what is your favorite book?
My current favorite book is Our Gods Wear Spandex, The Secret History of Comic Book Heroes by Christopher Knowles with illustrations by Joseph Michael Linsner. This book is all about how our superheroes have mythological origins. It's super.
How about you? What is your favorite book? You want to be on the Book Club for Kids podcast? Well, send us an email or just record yourself on the voice memo app on your mom or dad's smartphone and email it to us at bookclubforkidspodcast@gmail.com. You give us your first name, the city where you live, the name of the book you love, and why you like it, and then just email the voice memo to bookclubforkids@gmail.com. Just give us your first name, the city where you live, the name of the book you love, and why you like it. And you email the voice memo to bookclubforkidspodcast@gmail.com. Now, if you're looking for your next favorite book, subscribe to our Book Club for Kids newsletter. It's free. It's designed for parents, teachers, and librarians. And our next issue will have great holiday book ideas. And these are books that are chosen by our book club readers. The newsletter also has fabulous tips for turning reluctant readers into lifelong book lovers. Just sign up at our website, bookclubforkids.org. And if you like the show, hey, like us on Facebook too, and leave us a review and a rating on iTunes or Stitcher. It really helps a lot. Thank you very much. And thanks this week particularly to Jonathan Jensen, who composed and performed our music, and our celebrity reader, cartoonist Lalo Alcaraz. Thanks to writer Tom Angleberger and our hero librarian at Thompson Elementary, Jiminy Estates, and her crew at the Origami Yoda Book Club, Caden, Francisco, Kevin, Jefferson, and Nicholas. I'm Kitty Felde. Thanks again for listening. And if you're looking for adventure in a galaxy much closer to home, like, say, Capitol Hill, give a listen to our other podcast, The Fina Mendoza Mysteries. Based on the award-winning book series, it's the story of a 10-year-old detective who solves mysteries in the halls of Congress. It's also a sneaky way to introduce basic civics lessons to your elementary schooler. That's the Fina Mendoza Mysteries, wherever you listen to podcasts. And by the way, the first book in the Fina Mendoza Mystery Series, Welcome to Washington, Fina Mendoza, goes on sale July 3rd. There are teacher's guides and a free Facts Behind the Fiction blog, and we'll have a link in the show notes.